Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. It is day 38, so we're about 5 weeks and some change post-op. And I'm sorry I'm late on this video. I know it's supposed to be a month recovery, but we're just going to say a month. It's 38 days, close enough. So we're going to go over some recent updates because I just had my 5-week checkup with my surgeon. And a couple things I want to go over just to get the video started was one tip I did not share last time. So throughout this recovery, I've had these crutch pads. So these basically just soften the ends of the handle and the end of the crutch just to make it more comfortable. If you're on crutches for 1 or 2 days, a week, maybe 2, maybe you might not need it. However, I'm on week 5.5. I don't know what the brand is, Vive or Vive. It's one of those. I'm sure you can get them anywhere online. And some updates I want to go over are, the first thing is leg lifts. So I know online, if you Google how long it should be to lift your leg after a MACI surgery, it'll say 2 to 5 weeks. However, it is week 5.5 and I haven't been able to lift my leg unless you count this as being able to lift your leg, which I wouldn't 100%. This is more so lifting my hip and just keeping my leg straight. I told my surgeon's nurse when I went to my post-op, my 5-week appointment, and she said it's normal, it's a severe surgery, it depends on the severity, how big the incision is, what spot it's on, so I'm not too worried. So I was told initially I would be on the immobilizer, I would have the immobilizer on for 6 weeks. However, I was very lucky to be told that at my 5-week appointment, I would be losing it and swapping it out for a knee brace. Some people do a full leg brace, but it's California, it's hot, it's the summer, so my surgeon gave me a little bit of a break and he just gave me the knee brace, which is a nice change of pace from the stocking and immobilizer. I feel like I can sleep better because I don't have to wear it when I'm completely relaxed and laying down. I feel like it's not so hot. I feel like the stocking and the immobilizer are really starting to get to me. And now they're more concerned about pushing my range of motion, getting me back to regular flexibility, getting that joint opened up, and breaking down the scar tissue. So one thing my surgeon did tell me, and I knew this from my previous surgery actually, was that I grow a lot of scar tissue, particularly not on my incision, but on the opposite side of my knee. So it's on the outside, on the right side of my knee. So in PT, we're breaking that down. I'm also doing PT 2 times a week now. Initially, I was doing 1 to 2 times a week. Now I've committed to 2. I'm also doing PT exercises 3 times a day now. Initially, they told me to do 1 to 2 times a day PT exercises at home, but now it's 3 times a day. No ifs, ands, or buts. They want me to break down the scar tissue, get my ROM back up, my range of motion. But things are getting easier. One thing that is huge. Actually, I learned this at week 2. Everyone improves at their own pace. This is just my experience. But week 2, I was able to start getting up out of bed on my own. Not that I could lift my leg up on my own to get out of bed, but I learned a little way around. So I'm actually going to go ahead and show you right now. Just be careful. This is not me advising you at whatever stage you're in to do it. This is just what I do to get some of my independence back. So what I did was I took my good leg, I wrapped that foot under my bad leg, or under my bad ankle, and then I lifted it up, rotated over until my brace was all the way off the bed. Because I can't bend my leg, this whole thing has to be off the bed. Scoot up a little bit more, let myself down gently, and now I'm up. So after learning this, I was able to get out of bed on my own, right? So I don't have to worry about people helping me in the middle of the night every single night. It did take me 2 weeks to get to this point, but it was a huge relief on my family, on my friends, really on anyone who's been helping me out throughout this whole process. So at this point, I was advised by my surgeon it would be left up to my PT to clear me for driving, returning to work. But I am able to work at my desk more. So I think the most I was able to do, like the other day, I did 4 hours, which the first couple weeks was unheard of. I could not imagine sitting at my desk comfortably for that many hours. Granted, my leg is elevated, or it's at least, it's flat laid out against another chair or on another chair. I feel like the first month or the first couple weeks were boring and painful. And now this is where like the real work starts. You're doing the exercises, you're breaking down the scar tissue, you're getting that leg a little bit stronger. So now that I can get some range of motion in my leg, I'm actually going to go ahead and show you guys. So this is the video of me starting to wean off my crutches. So he did want me to prep that to start getting off my crutches. So I'm doing exercises where I go short distances on just one crutch. However, for the most part, if I'm going all the way across the house or I'm using it a little bit more throughout the day, I am using both crutches. They also want me to get more bend in my knee while taking these steps, so that way I can get my regular range of motion back and get back to regular walking. I I knew this from my first surgery, but it's a little bit more pronounced this surgery, is you kind of do have to relearn to walk. To be honest with you, at this point, I didn't expect to be here this quick. I expected to have an additional week of having the immobilizer, which sets me back on range of motion, which sets me back on all these things, right? So the Lord has blessed me with the ability to get back to a little bit more normalcy. And one thing I noticed from like the first couple weeks, so after week 1, I went to my PT and they started trimming the stitches. And after that, my CPM, I just wasn't able to do as much. I had to reset to 25 degrees basically. Well, come to find out a couple days later, just through kind of tinkering with the machine, which I would advise reaching out to the consultant who brought the machine to you, reaching out to your surgeon, or reaching out to some medical professional. But all I did was I loosened the knobs and I reset the machine, like I pushed it a little bit more forward, because as you're doing the CPM machine, it can slowly become misaligned and it can bend your leg a little bit improperly, which causes range of motion issues. So once I resolved that, I was fine, but it did set me back. It took me about 5 days to find out what the problem was. And at that point, I lost 5 days of progress. So right now in PT, when they are bending the crap out of my leg, like 10 out of 10, can't handle it anymore. I think I'm hitting about 65 to 70 degrees. At home, I'm getting a little bit less. Here's the footage of me working on these exercises at home. As you can see, it's not that far, but I am getting a little bit of progress at a time, which is all I'm really asking for right now. The swelling has reduced. I am off Oxy, but that was only the first 4 days, so it's kind of short-lived anyways. I'm on ibuprofen now. That's just a little bit throughout the day to keep the swelling down, especially when I'm doing more exercises. But also the swelling went down. I noticed at some point around week 3, week 4, I think it was week 4, one morning I woke up and the swelling was just heavily reduced. I don't know why. I have no rhyme or reason about it. I just woke up and noticed it was significantly less inflamed. I have been sticking to a pretty strict diet, no sodium, no fats outside of like avocado. So I am pretty strict. I am allowing myself about 1 cheat meal a week, which is the most I'll allow myself during this recovery. Obviously not drinking any alcohol. So it's just water, protein shakes. Basically anything I'm eating is going to be 2 or 3 times as much protein as it is fat, and basically no sodium. And like I said, I still can't lift my leg, but I'm still practicing getting the muscles firing. I'm noticing they're opening up a lot more. I'm also able to do more upper body workouts. I feel like a little bit more flexible with being able to sit comfortably and do workouts for a longer period, and I'm raising the weight a little bit more and more. I'm not doing much right now. Obviously being seated, I'm going to have reduced weight already, but just for my level of comfortability, I'm pushing my reps, lowering my weight. One thing that I feel like was a bigger takeaway from these past couple weeks was definitely using my time intentionally. The first 2 weeks you can waste away. Those first 2 weeks, throw them in the trash. I don't know what you could possibly do for the first 2 weeks. I did some work for my bed, but that was pretty limited already. I feel like this video, I'm moving a lot faster, just kind of going very quickly through these points. But, it's been a little bit harder to record the process as I've gone along the past couple weeks. I mean, aside from motivation, just, carrying the camera around the house is a little bit more difficult. It's actually very difficult to carry a camera around the house. I found some workarounds, but, it's just not something that I want to be doing every single day. So I need to be a little bit better about that. I am late on this video. It's day 38 of a 1-month update, so about 8 days behind, but I will keep you guys updated. The goal is to capture, all the highlights or any big milestones that I pass, and just even some of those little moments, right? Being able to catch my progression and be able to show you guys, just to share my experience. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave it down in the comments below. I love answering you guys' questions. I love being able to help out in any way that I can. That's what these videos are for, is just to share my experience. For anyone who's curious or looking into a MACI, also check out the MACI subreddit. That's been great. People converse there about anything concerning a MACI. I mean, it's endless. As a final note, going through this process, I'm very grateful to be healing accordingly. The surgeon seems happy. My physical therapist seems happy as I progress. Lord willing, I can have a wonderful recovery and, get back to a normal state and a much more improved state than what I was prior to surgery. So thanks for checking in, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys are able to take something away from it. God bless. I'll see you guys for the next update.